Well, the meeting last night also caught the attention of Indiana state lawmakers. It was a long meeting, and people who work on both sides of the aisle were paying attention.
And our State House reporter Emily Longnecker continues our team coverage tonight at 6 with their reaction.
Yeah, it's really quiet at this hour. You know, lawmakers in the House weren't even in session today, and senators got out of here just before noon. But Senate leadership on both sides of the aisle were well aware of that marathon committee meeting here last night in the House Ways and Means Committee and the emotional testimony that came with Senate Bill 518. When asked about concerns from public school advocates over Senate Bill 518 that calls for traditional public schools to share referendum money with public charter schools, Republican Senate Majority Leader Rod Bray says it's about making sure resources for public education are distributed in a way that helps all kids.
You've got a lot of kids that are going to charter schools now, and those maybe 60% of the kids in the IPS system, for instance, that aren't getting the benefit of any of those dollars. And so it's not really a very efficient way to do that. So that's one of the reasons that this conversation is important.
But Democrats argue 518 is a push towards privatizing education, pointing out the state is cutting grant money it gives to charter schools. They say pushing the funding burden onto taxpayers. Democrats also criticize Republican support to provide even more money for school choice vouchers, all while pushing property tax relief they say will mean less money for schools.
Lawmakers are claiming that this is about fairness, but if it was truly about fairness, then why is the state cutting charter school funding? Why is that the proposal, to cut the charter school grants fund and force locals to pick up the price tag? Why are we overstepping by dictating how local voters who've already passed referenda supporting their public schools can spend that money instead of creating a real funding solution? And why is the state offloading costs onto the locals, at the same time claiming to offer property tax relief? Those two things cannot be true at the same time.
So two very different views on this bill, on this issue of sharing the funding between public schools and charter schools. We also saw very different opinions, passionate opinions on this same issue last night in that testimony. At the Indiana State House, Emily Longnecker, 13 News.